After a week off, we are back with another edition of Sundays with Serby. And this week, New York Post sports columnist Steve Serby caught up with Chris Sims, former NFL quarterback and host of Pro Football Talk Live. And now, let's catch up with Steve, who joins me here. Steve, how's it going?
All right. How about you, Dex?
I'm doing all right, man. Doing all right. Good to have you back for another edition of the show. And Steve, you talked with Sims about the New York football teams, who record's not great right now. Let's start with the Jets and their quarterback, Zach Wilson. How does he feel about the QB who's coming off a strong performance against the Chiefs in Week 4? How does he feel about Zach Wilson, where he's at right now?
Well, he's a little bit more confident in Zach Wilson than he was a week ago. Now, Joe Namath is not sold yet, of course, but he has to be encouraged by what he saw against the Chiefs. And that was a more confident Zach Wilson, a let-it-rip Zach Wilson. And that's what Chris Sims wants to see again. And I think most Jet fans want to see again a quarterback with confidence, a quarterback where the playbook is opened up, where he throws on first down. And today in Denver, what I'm asking him to do is to be the better Wilson with Russell Wilson on the other side. Zach Wilson doesn't have to play against the Jets defense. Russell Wilson does, though, and the Broncos defense is a disaster. So this should be a get-right week for Zach Wilson. And in his defense, Chris Sims talked about the support system he really didn't have in his first two seasons when he was thrown to the Wolves with a rookie offensive coordinator and a defensive head coach, not to make any excuses because Zach Wilson was terrible. But at least now with Nathaniel Hackett and the team rallying around Nathaniel Hackett for the remarks that Sean Payton made during the summer, I think that this could be a 250-yard game for Zach Wilson. And if the Jets win 2-3, and they will have a hope for a season.
Hope for a season, which is what Jets fans can only hang on to right now.
Look at the schedule after the Eagles next Sunday. They got the Giants. Now they're better than the Giants right now, so it lightens up. The schedule lightens up, and the Jets could be 5-4 if they can rehabilitate Zach Wilson.
Here you go, Steve. Giving the Jets fans hope. Could be 5-4. One week at a time. We'll take it there.
You sound like a coach.
Yeah, that is coach talk, but it's probably for the best for Jets fans. Probably for the best. I want to move over to the Giants because you talked to Sims about the Giants as well too. Where is he on the state of the Giants and their quarterback Daniel Jones as they head into a Week 5 matchup with the high-powered Dolphins?
Well, look, Daniel Jones obviously hasn't played well, but he hasn't been able to play well because in Chris Sims' view and in many others, he's playing behind the worst offensive line in football. Evan Neal, of course, the Boo Birds were all over him and vice versa. He made the mistake of chop blocking the Boo Birds. He's got to learn how to play better, obviously. More was expected of him. But Daniel Jones can make something out of nothing, and Chris Sims doesn't dismiss that. Sims says that no quarterback can function behind that offensive line, missing Andrew Thomas, not even the young Tom Brady. So another factor that Chris Sims mentions is the play calling. Now, everybody is on to what the Giants did a year ago. They keep everything condensed in a box, the passing game, the running game, and the Giants are not a great running team, but they've got to start targeting Darren Waller. He's been missing in action. He was supposed to be the weapon that would help take Daniel Jones to that next level, quote unquote. He's been invisible, and Sims would love to see Brian Daboll take back the play calling. And no disrespect to Mike Kafka, who is a brilliant offensive mind, almost got the Cardinals head coaching job a year ago, but Brian Daboll was hired in large part because of what he did with Josh Allen. And Sims would love to see Daboll call the plays for Daniel Jones and maybe not have to throw a tablet on the sideline.
Yeah, nobody wants to see him throw a tablet again. We will see how the Giants can do in Week 5 against the Dolphins. Going to be a tall order. Good stuff from Chris Sims on both New York teams and their quarterbacks. If you want more on that, check out Steve Serby's Q&A with Chris Sims at NewYorkPost.com. Steve, thank you for the time. Always good to talk to you on another Sunday.
The pleasure is always mine, Dex. Always mine.
Thank you, sir.